And now let's transition from the most famous historical case from the 40s in Roswell to the current day synopsis of the phenomenon after these whistleblowers made some bombshell revelations in Congress in July of 2023. And so the 2023 congressional hearings on UAP marked a historic turning point in government acknowledgement of the UFO phenomenon, as this distinguished panel of witnesses, including former military officials, intelligence officers, Navy pilots, and whistleblowers, provided testimony that challenged decades of official denial and opened up the topic to the mainstream public discourse at last. And so these photos are of key figures who transformed the UFO disclosure landscape through their congressional testimony and public advocacy. Starting from left to right, we got Commander David Fravor, a highly decorated Navy pilot who brought massive attention to UFOs with the now famous Tic Tac UFO in 2004, which I'll debrief in the next slide. We got Ryan Graves, a former F-18 pilot who revealed the regularity of UAP sightings amongst pilots. Chris Mellon, the former Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense for Intelligence, who facilitated the release of now declassified UAP footage. There's David Grush, the former intelligence official turned whistleblower. He delivered perhaps the most explosive testimony, which I'll touch on in just a moment. We got Luis Elizondo, who served as the director of the Pentagon's Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program called AATIP. He resigned in protest over excessive secrecy. And George Knapp and Jeremy Corbell, investigative filmmakers and journalists who have long been investigating the phenomenon, were also a part of the hearings. So Dave Grush, a member of the Pentagon's UAP task force, delivered perhaps the most explosive testimony, asserting that he had knowledge of a multi-decade UAP crash retrieval and reverse engineering program, which has been colloquially termed Immaculate Constellation. His claim that non-human biologics had been recovered. Grush told the House Oversight Committee's National Security Subcommittee that he had been denied access to some government UFO programs, but that he knows the exact location of UAPs in U.S. possession. And so these statements made under oath before Congress definitely represent an unprecedented level of disclosure about classified programs involving unknown craft. Former Navy pilot Ryan Graves also provided equally compelling testimony about the routine nature of these encounters. He stated that these sightings are routine, UAPs are grossly underreported, military aircrew, commercial pilots, and trained observers whose lives depend upon accurate identification are frequently witnessing this phenomena. Soon these encounters became so frequent that aircrew would discuss the risk of UAP as part of their regular pre-flight briefs. His testimony also highlighted a crucial point about institutional stigma, noting that it challenges national security and discourages witnesses from coming forward, further articulating that we need a system where pilots can report without fear of losing their jobs. And so this systematic underreporting suggests that the documented cases represent only a fraction of actual encounters. So if you can take away anything from this UAP topic, let it be that government intelligence officers have admitted that the U.S. government is in possession of UAPs, they have secret crash retrieval and revert and back engineering programs, and they have recovered aliens, in the words of non-human biologics. And now let's get into the Tic Tac, which is the most indisputable case in modern history. The USS Nimitz Tic Tac UFO, which is commonly referred to as the David Fravor case, ascertains that 4 Navy pilots visibly saw the UFO, which was recorded by multiple sensors going from 70,000 feet to 50 feet in less than a second. There was claims that it was bouncing around like a ping pong ball with no visible means of propulsion. And when Fravor recounted this incident on 60 Minutes and in the Age of Disclosure, he stated, "I don't think we developed it on this planet, and this technology exceeds anything we have or anything we will have in the next 20 years. And of course, it carried special weight coming from a highly decorated Navy pilot. And the incident's multiple expert witnesses, various sensor data, and the professional standing of those involved make it virtually impossible to dismiss through conventional explanations."